Everything in this series has pointed toward a single realization. The leader who blames the team is looking in the wrong direction. The leader whose behavior is reproducing itself in their people cannot see the mirror they are standing in front of. The leader who has not made the mission clear is watching compounded confusion and calling it an execution problem. The leader whose ego sits above the mission is operating with incomplete information and experiencing the resulting agreement as confirmation of their judgment. 4 episodes. 4 distinct versions of the same underlying failure. A leader who has not yet taken full and unconditional ownership of the outcome they are responsible for. Willink closes extreme ownership with a principle that pulls all of it together and gives it a shape that is immediately applicable. He calls it discipline equals freedom. And it is the most counterintuitive idea in the book for most of the professionals this series is built for. The instinct for most people in senior roles is that discipline is what you impose on people who cannot yet be trusted to operate without it. Structure is what you build for teams that cannot self-direct. Clear standards and enforced accountability are the scaffolding you put up while the team is developing, and then gradually remove as they grow more capable and more trusted. The truly high-performing team, in this framing, is the one that has moved past all of that. That operates with fluidity and autonomy. That does not need rigid structure because everyone understands the goal deeply and can be trusted to pursue it intelligently without being told how. Willink inverts this completely and without apology. The highest performing teams he has led and observed are the most disciplined ones. Not disciplined in the sense of rigid, bureaucratic, or micromanaged. Disciplined in the sense of having the clearest standards, the most consistent expectations, the most honestly enforced accountability, and the least tolerance for the slow and quiet drift that occurs when leaders let things pass to avoid the friction of holding the line on something difficult. Discipline is not the enemy of freedom in a high-performing team. It is the specific mechanism that produces freedom at the operational level. The team operating inside a clear and consistently enforced structure knows exactly what is expected of them, exactly what decisions they can make without escalating, exactly where their authority begins and ends and why. That team is genuinely free to operate, free to take initiative without second-guessing whether they have overstepped, free to make judgment calls in ambiguous situations without checking in constantly because the mission is genuinely clear and the standards are genuinely known and genuinely consistent. The team without that structure is not free. It is adrift, every decision potentially wrong, every initiative potentially overstepped, every action taken in the shadow of uncertainty about what the leader actually wants, what the real standard is, and how it will be received if they get it wrong. That team does not exercise initiative. It waits. It escalates. It checks in before acting when acting is precisely what the situation requires. The discipline equals freedom. Paradox has a direct and practical implication for every leader right now. The question it raises is not are you disciplined enough in some general sense. It is this. Are the standards you hold your team to clear enough, consistent enough, and honestly enough enforced that your team experiences genuine freedom to operate within them? Or have you built, through unclear expectations, inconsistently applied standards, and deferred accountability conversations, a team that is technically autonomous and functionally adrift? Most leaders, if they answer that honestly, will find something between the two. Some areas where the standard is genuinely clear and the team operates freely within it. Other areas where the standard has drifted, where accountability conversations have been deferred, where what is acceptable has expanded quietly in a direction nobody deliberately chose, and where the team is moving with less confidence and less initiative than they are capable of. The action that closes this series is the question Willink leaves every leader with. Not about strategy, structure, or process. About the people you are currently responsible for leading. For each person on your team right now, do they know exactly what you expect from them, exactly how they are performing against those expectations, and exactly what they need to do differently to get where they are trying to go? If the answer for any one of them is no, that is not their gap. That is yours. That is where extreme ownership begins. and that is where most leaders are not yet standing. Thank you for watching this series. The next one starts next week. Subscribe so you are there when it begins.